Hello, friends. Welcome to day 62 of the 90-Day Volunteer Recruiting Challenge. I'm your host, Kenny Conley, next-gen pastor at the Ridge Community Church, where I'm attempting to recruit 50 volunteers over the course of 90 days. And man, we are on day 62, and today we're continuing, I think, our last time to talk about the beautiful, the precious, the important pre-service huddle. So important. And today, as we wrap this thing up, I want to talk about my favorite hack, okay? Because I think the pre-service huddle, man, is so many things. It builds culture, it builds community, it rallies your people together, it's vision casting, all those things, but it's also a hack, okay? At almost every church I've worked at for my entire career, every church struggles to get their volunteers on time. On time. I've been at churches. My church is the same way. Okay, it's just like, it's no different from your church. I've been at churches where volunteers show up right on time. Like kids are standing in the hallway with their parents waiting to check in, and volunteers are showing up at exactly the same time. Or I've got places where volunteers, they show up 5 minutes after the service starts. And so like we're starting off with not enough coverage and we're hoping that our volunteers are going to show up, but they're late. Has that ever happened to you? And people sometimes, I've heard it as a coach and as a consultant and a conference speaker, and people would always ask me, like, how do I get your volunteers to show up on time? How do you get your volunteers to show up on time? And my answer is start a pre-service huddle. Start a pre-service huddle. Like start a pre-service huddle that happens 25 to 30 minutes before your service, and do all the things we talked about this week. Make it fun, make it good, make good community, cast a lot of vision, have food, like do all the things that make it awesome. And then what you'll find out is everybody's going to start coming, and everyone's going to be excited about coming, and you'll get 85, 90, 95% of your volunteers are going to show up for your volunteer huddle. Now, here's the beautiful thing. Your pre-service huddle, it happens 30 minutes before your service. So even your people who struggle with being on time, listen, they're still going to be late, but they're going to be late for your huddle, not for service. They're going to get to your pre-service huddle 10 minutes in, and you only have 10 minutes left or 5 minutes left. They're going to be late for it, but they're going to try really hard to be there, and they're not going to be there on time, but they will be 10, 15, 20 minutes early for service, which is the most important thing. So the pre-service huddle is a whole lot of things, and it's beautiful and it's important. It's one of my favorite ministry tools, but it's a hack to get your volunteers to show up on time. Because where I'm at right now, at my church, at the Ridge, where my volunteers, they don't all make it to the pre-service huddle, but 99% are there 10 to 15 minutes before service starts. And that's what matters. So, if you haven't yet started a pre-service huddle, what are you waiting on?